Imagine science as a shared global intelligence system. AI agents, robotic labs, researchers, open data, and simulations all contribute to an evolving world model, while decentralized records track trust, contribution, and provenance. The goal is faster, more transparent discovery for everyone. So far, we've built a stack: autonomous agents, trusted AI societies, spatial and brain interfaces, bio AI, robotics, climate systems, neuromorphic chips, tiny ML sensing, and agent-owned machines. Project 29 connects that stack into something larger: a decentralized discovery network where scientific knowledge can be generated, verified, shared, and coordinated across intelligent infrastructure. Project 29's big vision is to turn science into a living, global knowledge network. Papers, datasets, methods, models, and reviews no longer sit in separate silos. Instead, each becomes a connected object in a shared knowledge graph. A claim can be traced to its evidence, uncertainty, replication attempts, and competing explanations. AI agents and researchers can then reason across fields, languages, and institutions much faster. This is more than better search. It is a scientific substrate that updates as new evidence arrives, accelerating discovery through 2050. At the core is a new way to represent research. Science becomes a network of connected claims, evidence, people, methods, and outcomes. A hypothesis can link to the protocol that tested it, the dataset it produced, the researcher or AI agent involved, the funding source, and even failed or negative results. That structure makes research computable. AI systems can look for contradictions, missing evidence, weak assumptions, and promising combinations. Most importantly, the graph preserves provenance, so every conclusion carries context, confidence, and a traceable history. Decentralized science works as a stack, not a single tool. AI agents help scan literature, form hypotheses, design experiments, and interpret results. Infrastructure gives those agents something real to work with: open datasets, knowledge graphs, simulations, and automated labs. Decentralized coordination adds the trust layer, recording provenance, funding work transparently, rewarding contributions, and building reputation over time. But this is not autonomous science without people. Human researchers, reviewers, institutions, and citizen scientists still set goals, challenge claims, and validate outcomes. The power comes from connecting all layers into one scientific operating system. Within that stack, AI research agents act like collaborators that keep the scientific loop moving. They read across papers, patents, datasets, lab notebooks, and simulations, looking for patterns people may miss. From there, they identify gaps and combine ideas across fields to propose testable hypotheses. Next, they turn a hypothesis into an experiment, defining variables, controls, measurements, and uncertainty estimates. Once results come in, the agent evaluates the evidence, including failures and negative results, then updates its model and suggests the next round of questions. Robotic labs close the loop between reasoning and reality. An AI agent starts with a hypothesis and turns it into a precise experimental protocol. A certified robotic lab then executes that protocol using instruments in chemistry, biology, materials, agriculture, medicine, or environmental testing. Sensors capture measurements, images, timings, and operating conditions. The result is not just a conclusion, but a verified dataset with metadata: methods, instruments, environment, and confidence. That evidence feeds back into the knowledge graph, so future reasoning is grounded in experiments, not just text. DLT provenance gives research a durable chain of evidence. When a dataset is registered, a protocol is versioned, an experiment runs, or a peer review is added, each event can be recorded with time, authorship, and context. That matters because science is collaborative. Humans, AI agents, institutions, funders, labs, and citizens may all contribute. A shared ledger helps preserve who did what, how results changed, and whether replication succeeded. The goal is not blockchain hype. It is scientific memory that strengthens trust and attribution. Decentralized science also changes who can fund research and what gets rewarded. Instead of relying only on large grants, funding pools can support early hypotheses, replication work, dataset curation, robotic lab time, and open source tools. Mechanisms like quadratic funding, impact certificates, research DAOs, and milestone grants make support more transparent and responsive. The incentive target shifts as well. Researchers gain credit for validated contributions, reproducible results, useful datasets, and long-term impact, not just publication volume. Reputation systems can then route resources to credible contributors, while still leaving room for new researchers to enter. Reputation-based science broadens what counts as valuable. Instead of giving most credit to the first author, famous lab, or final paper, it records contributions across the whole life cycle, forming hypotheses, cleaning data, designing protocols, building simulations, reviewing work, reproducing results, and validating findings in the field. The key is evidence. Reputation should be tied to verifiable outputs, not popularity. That also means AI tools and robotic labs can be attributed, while humans remain accountable for judgment and governance. Done well. This opens recognition to smaller labs, independent researchers, citizen scientists, and regions traditionally left out. Simulation environments and scientific digital twins are closely related, but they play different roles. A simulation lets an AI test possible futures cheaply. What if conditions change? What edge cases appear? And which experiment is worth running next? A digital twin goes further. It stays linked to a real system through sensor data, historical records, lab results, and field observations. The agent compares predictions with reality, then updates the model. That feedback loop supports better decisions in climate, materials, biology, medicine, energy, and cities. Put together, these pieces form a discovery loop. AI agents read the knowledge graph and propose valuable questions to test. Robotic labs, simulations, and field networks turn those questions into structured evidence. Human reviewers interpret the evidence, challenge assumptions, and decide what is credible or still uncertain. Distributed ledgers preserve provenance, so data, methods, and approvals can be audited. Finally, validated findings update the world model, giving AI better context for the next round of hypotheses. Science becomes faster, but still accountable. What does this unlock in practice? In medicine, it could speed biomarker discovery, validate treatments, and uncover useful drug repurposing paths. For climate, it helps teams share models for carbon mineralization, biodiversity, and ocean health. In materials and energy, it supports open pipelines for batteries, quantum materials, and new energy systems. And for space, it coordinates the research needed for habitats, construction, and resilience in harsh environments. By 2050, decentralized scientific intelligence could make science feel less like a collection of separate institutions and more like a shared global operating system. Open datasets, robotic labs, and simulation tools let more people contribute from anywhere. AI agents propose hypotheses, run tests, and fold results back into common knowledge. As knowledge graphs connect universities, companies, citizens, sensors, and machines, silos become harder to maintain. The biggest impact is not just faster discovery. It is broader participation, where access to infrastructure, funding, and scientific credibility becomes less dependent on geography or institutional privilege. The key idea is that science can operate as a living world model. Hypotheses, experiments, data, simulations, funding, reputation, and discoveries all connected transparently. With AI agents, robotic labs, open datasets, and verifiable provenance, discovery becomes faster and more reproducible. Next, we scale that same modeling logic from research systems to civilization resilience, risk, adaptation, governance, and long-term survival.